What's going on, y'all? It's Jason Reviews here, back at it again with another video. As you guys know, covering the live event yesterday, this is my Born Legacy 13 recap. Once again, similar to, I believe it was my Chrome Grudge card recap, no ranking, no top three most disappointing, top three most impressive, simply because of small card. Whenever it's 4 battles or less, I'm just not going to do like a big ranking of it. You have 8 battlers, so I'd only be ranking like 6 of the 8. It's like some of them are given who was good, some of them are given who was bad. So we're just going to quickly, go over each of these battles and give my own recap for them. Live tweet through a lot of it, so some of you that, really follow me might not like through different social medias, different platforms, might already know my opinions on the battle, but I can be a little bit more detailed here about the results. And really, there's only 3 one-on-one battles, so there's only 3 to talk about super duper duper in detail. And obviously, we got jokes for the main event, as we did when it was in the predictions, because we knew what the main event was going to be with that 3v3. But without further ado, man, let's just hop right into the recap for Born Legacy 13. First battle to go over. By the way, event started pretty by apps by URL standards. Event started pretty quick. I think it was like 12:20. You know what I'm saying? From on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying, 3 p.m. there, but 3:20 turnaround, something like that. But None and Real Deal would go first on the night. Battle didn't have many expectations going in, and maybe exceeded it just a slight bit. Right when you go into the first round of this battle, Real Deal, and something he did throughout is that I know he stuck more with punching and pure rapping. Obviously, someone who is always heralded as an angler. He's not always going to angle, everything to death, but in the first round, really just took a bit, name flip, pure rapping, things like that. And it wasn't a bad round, just like not the craziest, not too many standout haymakers, just a good round of that, kind of like going through the motions. And Nun's first is going to be a funny one to judge for a lot of people. So a lot of people giving it to him, clear. And I think the energy in the building had Nun winning if you just watch the first. He took an angle-heavy approach, angling at Real Deal being a teacher and kind of blaming him for, I think it's a trans rights, gay rights of kids in school and how they shouldn't be learning about their pronouns at this age in the bathroom, like letting get trans kids in the bathroom and all that. And then also an angle, angle about school shootings, which I kind of see where he was trying to go, talk about the security that's needed. And then really applied it to DL by saying how teachers should step up, how have you not gotten more security? And there's kind of, it's a two-sided thing, because one, executing an angle in battle rap is tough, and we don't always agree with the angles, and some angles are stretches, and most angles are stretches. Saying how often is an angle 100% what's being said and not the truth stretched or bent to kind of fit the opponent. But particularly in this one, even if you don't, let's say you agree, with the whole, the trans rights and all that, it's one of those things where I don't, Real Deal doesn't control that. It's not a thing where teachers vote in schools and determine if they're going to do this. There's, loose directedness because he's a teacher, but the whole, why don't you get more security, this and that. The actual attack of it is a little bit nonsensical. Now, he executed it, so there's people that are going to give him points for that. It's not that great of a first round to have this big debate over. Me, personally, I edged Real Deal the first. I think it's a debatable round, and neither of them really did anything that crazy. While Nun had the room, I thought real material-wise, Deal had more things that scored. While I looked at some of Nun stuff, it doesn't make that much sense. You get reaction. He had the part that he's a different type of white than him. He did a couple things that gained reaction in the building, but for me, I don't think the content's going to really stand the test of time. So I had Real Deal edging the first. The second is just not that good from either. Real Deal, it's the job off. Real Deal angles at him about his CDL and truck driving. Nun angles once again about the teacher angle. The Real Deal, there's no quote serial pull from this. The second is very kind of just rough all the way around. I thought it was Nun's worst round of the battle. The same way I thought Real Deal's first was his worst round of the battle. Actually, edge Real Deal the second. Another round's kind of 50-50. Really no separator here. I like the Riggs line that he had while working the CDL angle. But outside of that, just I had Real Deal a kind of an ugly 2-0. With the first being pretty debatable. And then you get into the third. Third's really the talk of the battle, while Real Deal had a really good third round, all around punching, jokes, a little bit of angling, just a very, serviceable third. Nun's third is a convo with Smack. People love them a convo with Smack, man. Airing his grievances to Smack, really had the whole entire round for Smack directly. It's one of the better real talk, talk to Smack rounds that have been done, talking about his pay, having to pay for the app as a talent to see his rounds, which was the one part I thought was kind of crazy, Maybe if I choked like Twerk more, I'd get paid more. Really went at Smack, landing multiple haymakers. And I guess for this one, it really comes down to how you grade directness. Some people say if it's not at the opponent at all, it shouldn't count. For me, when it gets to this level of kind of moment, I think there's a lot of merit to it. And while it wasn't directed at Real Deal, this is the round that I gave Nun. So, pretty mid battle to start out. Had Real Deal 2-1, giving Dun Dun the third. If you grade on directness and don't think that you can give Dun Dun the third, not mad at Real Deal, gentlemen's. I mean, really not a great battle overall. And just that's what it is to say about it. I guess none. What's gonna come out of this is the impact of like what's gonna happen. None of he's gonna get booked on URL again. If he did a really great third, and even if he doesn't get back on URL, I think he's gonna get impact from this. That he can spin into momentum to get booked one way or another. You're gonna gain noise from this as long as you have eyes on you. You can use that to your advantage. But yeah, as I said, Real Deal 2-1 in a very okayish battle. From there, you can get into Klutz versus Chilla Jones. For me, my battle of the night pick going in, I think lived up to that. First round of the battle is the weakest, but still a really good round in my opinion. Chilla Jones, real walk down style. A lot of jabbing, wasn't the craziest first. Loved his beer scheme towards kind of alcohol scheme towards the beginning of the round. Thought that was like a really really good moment of it, but was far and few between in the first while Klutz went. And Klutz had this performance. It was like playing hot and cold, I think it was, where he put a jacket on, and I thought the performance at the beginning of his round was really really strange. I get what he was trying to do, and I appreciate him taking chances. It's something I've actually like giving Klutz a lot of credit for in his JC battle. A talent that takes chances, and even some of it doesn't work. When some of it does, it comes off really masterful and extremely creative. So the first to me ends up being debatable. He does this AC scheme that hits like a haymaker. I kind of think AC, fan, wind chill, I think they've been done to death. But the way he tailored it to chill, I thought was really good. And kind of jabbed away. Debatable first, in my opinion. I saw a lot of people giving Klutz the first. I personally edged Chilla Jones the first round, though. Still think he had a little bit more content-wise, and I thought the first half of Klutz's little jacket prop was extremely awkward. Like I said, I don't mind him taking the chance, but I didn't think it particularly worked in that situation. Then you get into the second, which is the peak of this battle, really the peak of this event. Fantastic. Chilla Jones, the second, the handheld console scheme, fire. The toilet paper scheme, fire. I mean, this was Kingpin Chilla Jones. I mean, really working elongated concepts, right? Bunch of quick, clever bars. And Klutz, although his second started a little slow, I didn't know if he'd match Chilla's second. His second is also full of, I mean, just crazy. I'm older now. I only want to fuck on chills bitches. That bar hit crazy. A couple other haymakers in that second too that I thought really once again flex the cleverness and really the creativity in Klutz's pen. I mean, when people go right mentally in terms of writing, he goes left, and I just love that. I love that. I feel like he doesn't have too much outdated stuff. I mean, even if you don't like some of his concepts, I feel like he's always pushing the boundaries of wordplay, and as a pen should. There's innovation in the way he writes, and to me, it was a really, really good second. And in this one, a 50-50 round like the first, but in like a much more positive direction. And it goes to show I kind of this battle's debatable. I think the first two were debatable. I wouldn't be mad at you having 2-0 Klutz, but me personally, I edged Chilla 2-0 going into third. Like I said, it could be Klutz 2-0, but I personally edged Chilla 2-0. It could also be 1-1. And as you get into the third, once again, based around an angle, it's going to have controversy. Chilla Jones takes this angle about Klutz being a car salesman now and then the death of his girlfriend. So real dark content matter. And I think for the first 80 to 90 seconds, we were all holding our breath because it was kind of ass. I'm going to be honest. First bit of that angle was extremely cringe. Landing with little jokes, but not a lot of, like, besides being dark and a little bit awkward, not a lot of, like, bombs. But towards the end, he lands the seat warmers haymaker. He lands the Hyundai haymaker, and really threw Klutz off. You could see in his energy in the third. I think Klutz had some good material, once again, punching back to back. But Chilla's third kind of took the air out of the room. And even though the beginning of it looked scary, he ended the angle masterful, and to me, won the third round clearly. So yeah, that's how I called that. Had Chilla Jones, gentleman's 30, clear in the third, edging the first two. Do you think it's a debatable battle and battle of the night, though? I think overall it might be looked at as a loss for Klutz. Even on the playback, you know what I'm saying, it might come down as like a clear loss by consensus. But I thought his first two rounds were really good. I thought his third was good too. Call that John the third. I don't know if we're ready to see that or not. But, I mean, I do want to see him start working against talents that aren't just pens. So, style clash with John, or maybe a mid-tier, high-ranked mid-tier, someone in the middle. Building these guys' profile, because obviously, as we're going to talk about, I think this new class consistently see the toppest of tier vets. It's kind of going to wear them down after a while. But great battle. Had Chilla winning, but I thought it was positive for Klutz. Might have been the only rookie that took a real positive from the night. From there, you get to like the co-main event with Danny and Souffleur. The battle I'm going to talk about really the least because it was a murder. I'm here to tell you that Danny Myers 30'd Souffleur's soul. Something I didn't see coming just because of Souffleur's success versus Chess and Rum Nitty. Two talents I think can reach real astronomical levels, but I don't think Chess is better than Danny. I do think Rum Nitty is a little bit of a tougher challenge. To have a great, like one of the best battles of the year in that scenario, I thought we'd see that carried to this. And overall, Souffleur's soul first is not that good. It's a light round where I think Danny got right back-to-back punching, which is the base of Danny's style. I mean, I love the bad baloney and a monotony and a monotony. Blah, 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 blah. Enough, please God. I think Danny's there's no think. Danny is an extremely talented rapper, in my opinion. He's one of probably the 20 best battle rappers of all time. I mean, Danny is a all-time talent. But this era of, like, I'm going to be the rapper's rapper and show you and all the multis and, Danny is too talented of just a pure puncher to be kind of in my opinion, wasting time with some of these concepts that end up, I don't know. At the end of the day, we can't be telling battle rappers, these are battle rappers. These are the talents at the end of the day. But I've always thought when Danny is pure punching and really just focused on the haymakers and those creative little witty lines, you get the absolute best of Danny Myers. You get the Tay-Rock Danny Myers. You get the Pat Stay Danny Myers. You get classics like the first Rum Nitty battle, things of that nature. And then when you get battles like this, it just shows you, compared to the rest of his material this year, I just think it's the route for him. But back on to Souffleur's performance, thought his first was kind of weak. I thought his second was great, but he wrapped himself into a choke. You just got to know when to call time sometimes. Thought he bounced back. I thought he fought back energy-wise, and then wrapped maybe like 30 seconds to a minute too long. Ends up choking. You could see the choke coming. He did nothing to kind of cut the round or get away from it. A little, I don't want to say a low IQ move, but kind of like a young cat move. You know what I'm saying? You call that early. You still have a very competitive second. Danny responds with great rebuttals. His rebuttals were even hitting to start the second. And it has another great second round. Then you get into the third, and once again, it's just a wash. Stumbles, kills Souffleur in this one. Prep, nothing that's going to knock him, completely off or completely tanks him in the rankings, but it's definitely a rough loss, and this is the real learning experience. I know they said the 2-on-2 is a learning experience. It will be on the stage a little bit, but one-on-one battles are what determine your career, and to take your first real loss like this, 3-0, he got you. Hopefully Souffleur is going to be able to go back to the lab and learn a couple things from this one. Really learn a couple things from this one. And at the end of the day, just has to tighten up that can't be having the stumbles and the chokes, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of that in the Foots battle, right, in the volume, we've seen that, but this is the first time really, hurt him into a clear result. And as for Danny, gotta respect it, in my opinion, by far his best performance of 2023, material-wise, energy-wise, performance-wise, and it was it's not about being here, it's about staying here. That concept in the third it's about staying here in battle rap, being consistent, having longevity, masterful end to a masterful performance, and Danny won this battle an extremely clear 3-0. Into the last battle of the night, the 3-on-3, it was not good. And I don't want to sit here and talk about how it was not good for like 5 minutes, but it was not good. It was, you know what I'm saying, as we classically talk about in this channel, in my opinion, may have been an attack on hip-hop, the attack on battle rap. But really, I just wasn't that much of a fan of the concept to begin with. I thought a lot of the round showed. Hansel's round, not very good in my opinion. Some under-the-radar lines, I guess, but not a lot of explosiveness. Even had breath control and pacing issues. We're not even going to speak on O-Red's round, because at this point, if you book O-Red in anything, and besides a volume, like a very finite amount of people, I don't want to hear nothing. You know what's going to happen. Then we get to Ease's round in the second, and I like Ease as a talent. I thought he's done pretty good so far, but man, I was so unimpressed with that. And I can't lie, this guy that I know has talent, watching the Hansel battle, it reminded me of his clean performance, where there was a lot more dry spots and these like drawn out sections. It was rough, and funny enough, the best round that saved this battle, goddamn Arsenal, man. Arsenal's second was one of the best rounds of the night, if not the best rounds of the night. Wilded out on all three of the new cats with like real writing. Not good on a curve, not good for Arsenal. A great battle rap round in the way that he should just rap in general. Not a lot of filler. Not a lot of real OBC. directness, not just the name flips. Not like he used that as, a little bit of name flips that maybe keep some pace and be directed a couple bars, but some real talk, great performance, great energy. Arsenal really just outvetted them, and almost you could Suge and Red couldn't have even rapped. And I think a lot of people said, "Damn, Arsenal beat the three of them by himself." And then in the third round, once again, I think Authentic has the best round just because it's the most smooth, handles the breathing control issues. Ease kind of stopping for the crowd a lot, having issues, a little bit stumble here and there, slip of the words. And Authentic just had a clean round, not crazy, but just kind of standard. And Suge raps, and I think a lot of people were to give Suge the round, had some peaks, had some energy. He came very close to choking a couple times himself. Just goes to show how disorganized and unserious of a concept this is. Please, for the love of God, don't bring no goddamn 3v3s back through this door, especially not in the main event of any type of spot. I just don't think... People said, oh, well, it doesn't hurt the rookie, so it's not that bad. Well, could have ever really helped them either? Was there really any purpose in this? Was there anything to gain? Was there anything to lose? Or is this just a bad battle to book? And that's just what I'll say about the 3v3. Team Jersey won the fan vote. But it's one of those battles who really cares, you know what I'm saying? But Born Legacy 13, pretty much my I'm not going to say real quick. I think this ended up being like a 15, 16-minute recap. But just, my thoughts of it overall. Got a little bit more in-depth with some of the battles. Love, Klutz, and Chilla. Some people thought it was boring. I guess, me personally, I came into battle rap really loving the pens. In years' time, I have much more appreciation for way more styles than the way I used to. But I'm always down for a good, scheming, a little bit of intricacy, and hopefully finding some bars you haven't heard before, like the handheld scheme. Even my favorite bar of the night, the handheld console scheme by Chilla in the second. But like I said, that and Klutz Battle of the Night had Chilla Gentlemen's, but I thought it was debatable. Had Real Deal 2-1 in the first two rounds over None and OK Battle. Danny Myers just, evaporated. Souffleur Soul 3-0, and then the 3v3 is something that exists. But you guys let me know down in the comments below, for those of you that saw, what did you think of the event? What are your biggest takeaways from Born Legacy 13? No, it's not the biggest card, the craziest, too much to talk about, but enough that, I'm saying that there should be some fun battles to go over, maybe the future of some of the top six. Do you think that power ranking of the top six is rearranged at all? Let me know in the comments down below. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. As I said, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.